Good day, ma'am classmates. I am Morena
And I am
Blanes,
Charles Vincent and Leesa.
and we are the reporter from BSED Science 4. So for today's lesson, we are going to discuss the Bajau Tribe. Badjao Tribe are known to be the Sea Gypsies of Mindanao. So first, let us know where does Bajau originally from? The Bajau or Bajau tribal group has been admired for moving with the wind and tide on their small boats. These mighty people have settled in the coastal areas of the Sulu archipelago. According to the legend, these boat dwellers were originally from some part in Indonesia. Take note, Bajau means man of the seas. Next, where does Bajau found in the Philippines? The sea gypsies of the Sulu and Celebes Seas, the Bajau are scattered along the coastal areas of Tawi-Tawi, Sulu, Basilan, and some coastal municipalities of Zamboanga del Sur in the ARMM. When it comes to physical characteristic, eventually the sea molded the attitude and appearance of the Bajau. This rough environment and way of living shaped their typical physical features. The bronze-colored hair and dark brown skin clearly distinct them from other tribes. In terms of living, hundreds of years past, Mangyans are usually living on houseboats where make their livelihood solely on the sea as expert fishermen, deep-sea divers, and navigators. And we can say that they have a great relationship to the sea. But over decades, they have to left their nomadic and boat-dwelling life on the sea and decide to live and make their house near the sideways of the sea. Houses of Bajau, for those who do not live on their boats, are built almost entirely out of driftwood and debris from coastal cities. The Bajau boats are called Vintas.
So, what are Vinta's characteristics? Vinta are characterized by their colorful rectangular log sails or bukay and bifurcated prows and sterns, which resemble the gaping mouth of a crocodile. Vinta are used as fishing vessels, cargo ships, and houseboats. Smaller undecorated versions of the Vinta used for fishing are known as tondaan.
When it comes to Bajau's food, fresh fish and cassava are the staple diet of the Bajaus. After they fled to their homes, many had to adjust to the food provided by the government and humanitarian organizations, which generally consist of rice and canned goods. Especially to those older people, changing diet is difficult. Bajau leaders are called Panglima. A Bajau settlement or community consists of a cowman who reached the equivalent of land-based purok. The head is the panglima, whose main function is to settle disputes, collect fines, and officiate at weddings. The position is usually inherited, but the title is conferred by the leader. Regarding about their background on culture, beliefs, and costume, many Bajau of the East Coast retain their seaborne lifestyle, together with remnants of traditional pre-Islamic beliefs. Focusing on their mode of dressing, the traditional attire of Bajau is called pahadtong. It has many uses and they are made large enough to fit any person and are used by both men and women as a skirt or gown tucked at the chest level. It can serve as head cover, waistband, sash, blanket, hammock, shoulder bag, cradle, pouch, hood, or pillow. Additionally,
A woman's typical accessories are jewelry and color combs. The bracelet is the most popular ornament. Other pieces of jewelry are the pendant, earring, rings, necklace, and anklet.
Bajau tradition of marriage is pre-arranged by the parents for their sons and daughters at an early age. The process is similar to other ethnic groups in which a dowry is often presented to the parents of the woman that a man wishes to marry. After the wedding, the new-wedded Bajau couple celebrates on the sea, and usually the bridesmaids dance their traditional dance. Bajau traditional songs are handed down orally through generations. The songs are usually sung during marriage celebration, accompanied by dance and musical instruments like pulaw or flute, gabang, xylophone, tangungo, or kolintangongs. Bajau traditional songs include ison-ison, runsay, nahat, syair, nasid, buabo-anak, and tinggayon. Pangalay or Janggay is the traditional dance of Bajau. They adapted it from the Samal group of Sulu. This dance was usually and commonly performed by female Bajau, and to add twist to the traditional Panglay, they used Janggay and wear to their hands to enhance and magnify the dancer hands while dancing this traditional dance. Janggay is a metal fingernails or claws. This was used as an extension to their fingernails to give emphasis to the movement of the hands of the dancers.
Bajau believes that they are descended from loyalty. That is why they are a colorful, festive, and musical people. Also, why they wear such rich, colorful clothes, often made by hand from traditional dastar fabric.
Vinta's festival is one of the famous festival of Bajau. It is a race or spectacle of Vinta boats at sea. Bajaus who receive Vintas from the festival are happy to start their livelihood with the traditional boats that define their culture and identity. When it comes to Bajau arts and crafts, they are usually making necklaces and even bracelets that are made of seashells and native indigenous materials that they can find on their places. Bajau is also known in making indigenous mat that they can call Bajau Samal mat or the majestic banig of Basi Samar. The traditional art of mat weaving continues to flourish in this old town whose name has become synonymous with woven sleeping mat or they called banig. In terms of Bajau religion,
Islam 95.26%, Christianity 0.52%, cloth or folk religion, other religions, no religion, unknown 0.08% to 4.14%.
one of the government organizations that support Bajau to eradicate the poverty among them is DSWD, or known to be Department of Social Welfare and Development. However, there is also non-government organization that helps Bajau, namely the Bajau Bridge. And Dan Johansson is the founder and executive director of Bajau Bridge. Additionally, before we forget, the language of local Bajau here in the Philippines is what we call Sinama. And for those who want to learn Sinama language, just download on App Store the Sinama Dictionary. Have you ever seen Mangyan people? Don't you know that famous celebrity Rita Gabiola of PBB, aka Bajau Girl, is belong to Bajau indigenous group of people here in the Philippines. So what makes Bajau Tribe unique? The tribe has a very rich culture and they are known for their non-confrontational nature and values of respect. And that's all for today. Thank you for watching and listening.
I hope you guys learn.
Keep safe and God bless.
Good day everyone! Today's lessons we're gonna learn a new topic about the Bajau and the one of their tribes that we choose, which is the Sama Bajau. So before we proceed to the one of their tribe, first let's have a background about the Bajau. The term Bajau means fisher folk. It refers to the people who live on the seas or shores of the Sulu archipelago. The total population is around 24,330 as of 1986 and 28,536 as of 1988. The Bajau is divided into two groups, the Southern Bajau and the Northern Bajau. The Southern Bajau located in the islands of Tawi-Tawi, Sibuto, Sempona or Sava, and the Northern Bajau is in Siasi, Jolo, Basilan, and Zamboanga. The origins of the Bajau are uncertain. According to the legend, They came from the shores of Johor, Indonesia, where they had already been living in clusters of houseboats. Anthropologist H. Arlonimo of 1968 believes, however, that the Bajau were originally of the land-based Sama group but branched off into boat dwellers as a result of their occupation. Historian Najib Salibi traces the Bajau to the Sama in Johor, who migrated to the Philippines in the early 14th century, before the coming of Islam. Another theory is that the Bajau were originally boat dwellers who eventually built stilt houses near fertile fishing grounds. So now, let's move on to the one of their tribes, which is the Sama Bajau. The Sama Bajau refers to several Austronesian ethnic groups of maritime Southeast Asia. The name collectively refers to related people who usually call themselves the Sama, formerly AA Sama, or Sama people. They usually live a seaborne lifestyle and use small wooden sailing vessels such as the Perahu, Olayag and Maranao, Jenging or Balatu, Lepa, and Vinta or Pilang. And some Sama Bajau groups native to Sabah are also known for the traditional horse culture. The Sama Bajau are the dominant ethnic group of the islands of Tawi-Tawi in the Philippines. They are also found in the other islands of the Sulu archipelago, coastal areas of Mindanao, northern and eastern Borneo, Sulawesi, and throughout the eastern Indonesian islands. In the Philippines, they are grouped with religiously similar Moro people. Within the last 50 years, many of the Filipino Sama Bajau have migrated to neighboring Sabah and the northern islands of the Philippines due to the conflict in Mindanao. As of 2010, they were the second largest ethnic group in Sabah. Some Bajau have sometimes been called the Sea Gypsies or Sea Nomads, terms that have also been used for non-related ethnic groups with similar traditional lifestyle, such as the Moken of the Burmese, Thai, Mergui archipelago, and the Orang Laut of southeastern Sumatra and the Riau Islands of Indonesia. The modern outward spread of the Sama Bajau from older inhabited areas seems to have been associated with the development of sea trade in sea cucumber, or what they called repang. Let us proceed to the ethnonym of the Sama Bajau. Like the term Kadasan Dusun, Sama Bajau is a collective term referring to several closely related indigenous people who consider themselves a single distinct bangsa or ethnic group or nation. It is generally accepted that these groups of people can be termed Saba or Bajau, though they never call themselves Bajau in the Philippines. Instead, they call themselves with the names of their tribes, usually the place they live or place of origin. Sama is believed to have originated from the Austronesian root word Sama, meaning together or same or kin. The exact origin of the exosynym Bajau is unclear. Some authors have proposed that it is derived from a corruption of the Malay word Bajau, getting farther apart, or the state of being away. Other possible origins include the Brunei Malay word Bajau, which means to fish. British administrators in Sabah classified the Sama Bajau as Bajau and labeled them as
Now, let's proceed to the arts and crafts of Sama Bajau. So, hindi nga lingid sa kaalaman natin dahil nabanggit na kanina na ang mga Sama Bajau ay pangunahing makikita or matatagpuan sa lugar na malapit sa karagatan. Dahil ang pangunahing hanap buhay nga nila ay ang pangingisda. Dahil kilala sila sa pagiging talented, diverse dahil sila nga ay malapit sa dagat. At isa rin sa mga source of income nila or pinagkukunan nila ay ang pangunguha ng perlas sa karagatan na kanila itong ipinapalit or pinagbibili nang sa ganun ay matugunan yung kanilang personal na pangangailangan. At bukod sa pagiging kilala nga na talented divers, kilala rin ang mga Sama Bajau sa kanilang iilang mga arts and crafts. At una nga dito ay ang tinatawag nilang tepo or woven mat or mas kilala sa atin or kilala sa tawag na banig. This is the traditional art of mat weaving dahil mano-mano nga ito, gamit ang kanilang mga kamay kanila itong ginagawa. This is very popular in the region. So, kilalang kilala ito sa kanilang lugar dahil nga kapag may mga bumibisitang mga turista o nagagawing mga turista doon, ay agad na hinahanap yung mga tao na gumagawa nito or kung saan may ipinagbibiling ganito na kanilang tinatangkilik. The mat is made out from particular dwarf pandanus species or gawa sa woody leaves. At sinasabi nila yung paggawa daw ng tepo or ng woven mat nga or mas kilala sa tawag na banig, wala daw itong pattern yung paggawa nito. Naka-base lang daw ito sa kanilang traditions and cultures. Wala daw talagang sinusunod na pattern. Pwede nga daw gawing mga pasigsag, squares, mga ganyan. At yung colors daw nung mat na ginagawa nila dahil nga gumagamit silang iba't ibang color is nakadepende daw iyon sa lugar kung saan sila naninirahan dahil malapit nga sila sa dagat o naninirahan sila sa karagatan. Yung color na kanilang ginagamit sa paggawa ng banig ay nakadepende sa color ng mga marine lives. Bukod sa pagiging kilala ng mga Sama Bajau sa paglikha ng banig or tepo or yung woven mat nga, kilala rin ang mga Sama Bajau sa kanilang pagiging talentado sa paglikha ng bangka or tinatawag na boat making or houseboat making. The men of the tribe are skilled fishermen, especially the art of panata fishing. Dahil nga malapit sa dagat yung kanilang tirahan or dun sila nakatira at yun din yung pangunahing kanilang trabaho or hanap buhay or yun yung pinagkukunan nila. So, talentado or magaling din sa paglikha ng mga bangka or houseboat yung mga Sama Bajau. They traditionally live on the houseboat moving through the sea whenever was needed to fulfill their fishing requirements. So, dahil nga yun yung pangunahing trabaho nila, yung mga Sama Bajau is gumagawa na sila ng houseboat at doon na sila na ninirahan. Pero sinasabi doon na hindi naman sila lahat is nakatira sa houseboat. Yung iba nakatira sa tahanan nila pero malapit din sa dagat na gawa sa mga driftwoods. Ito yung ilang mga larawan kung paano nila ginagawa yung boat or yung tinatawag nilang houseboat. Nabanggit nga na naninirahan sila sa malapit sa karagatan na kung saan maraming makikita or matatagpuan ng mga seashells at isa rin sa mga ginagawa or pinagkakaabalahan ng mga Bajau ay ang paggawa ng mga shells, decoration, and accessories or mga souvenirs na yari nga or gawa sa mga shells na kanilang nakukuha sa karagatan. Nang sa ganun, ito rin yung isa sa mga pinagmumulan ng kanilang kita or nagiging kanilang hanap buhay para matugunan nga yung kanilang mga pangangailangan. Narito yung ilang mga larawan ng paggawa or yung mga gawa nilang decoration or accessories na gawa nga sa mga seashells.
So, let's proceed to the next topic about the situation of Sama Bajau in the midst of this pandemic. So, ano nga ba yung sitwasyon or kinalalagayan ng mga Sama Bajau sa kabila or banta ng pandemyang kinakaharap natin sa kasalukuyan? Sabi nga dito, the situation of this pandemic is making life even harder for those who are already economically suffering even before this time. The Bajau are among those who are obviously badly affected. The government is extending help to poor, but it's taking a while for some to receive them. And whatever the relief goods they get will not be enough to get them through. So, sinasabi dito na kasama ang mga indigenous people or
Kabilang nga ang Sama Bajau sa lubhang naaapektuhan ng kinakaharap nating pandemya sa kasalukuyan. At tulad din natin, nakaka-receive din sila ng tulong mula sa government, pero yung tulong na ibinibigay sa kanila or pagbibigay ng mga relief goods ay hindi sapat para mapunan yung pang-araw-araw nilang pangangailangan. During lockdown, most of elderly people in Badjao tribes complain about being imprisoned in their home when they wanted to go out with other elders for ritual purposes. However, the government had forbidden them to have ritual. So, kabilang sa naaapektuhan ang kanilang kultura. Dahil nga sa banta ng virus or ng pandemyang kinakaharap natin ngayon, maging ang kanilang tradisyon at kultura ay naapektuhan na. Sinasabi nga dito na gustong lumabas ng mga nakakatanda sa tribo upang maggawa ng mga seremonya patungkol sa kanilang mga rituals, ngunit hindi nila magawa dahil nga pinagbabawalan sila or sinabihan sila ng gobyerno na itigil muna yung mga ginagawa nilang ritual sapagkat sa kasalukuyan nga kinakaharap nating pandemya ay hindi maaari ang magkaroon ng mass gathering or pagtitipon-tipon, kung kaya't kabilang sa naaapektuhan ng pandemya ang kanilang tradisyon, maging ang kanilang mga kultura. With the moving restrictions, they were also forbidden to go out fishing, sell fish and pearls. The tribe was worried where to get food, how to buy water and other necessities. So dahil nga sa mga ipinagbabawal or mga polisiyang ipinatupad ng government, ang mga Sama Bajau ay pinagbawalan din sa paglabas upang mangisda at maging sa pagtitinda ng mga perlas at maging sa pagtitinda ng kanilang mga nahuhuling isda. Kung kaya't ang sitwasyon or kinalalagayan nila ngayon, sila ay nangangamba sapagkat hindi nga nila alam kung saan sila kukuha ng kanilang makakain at kung saan sila kukuha ng pambili ng kanilang maiinom at ng iba pa nilang mga pangangailangan. Bagamat may nakukuha nga silang tulong mula sa gobyerno, ngunit sabi ko nga kanina na ang ibinibigay na tulong or mga relief goods na ibinibigay ng gobyerno ay hindi sapat upang matustusan o mapunan yung kanilang pang-araw-araw na pangangailangan. Kabilang pa sa sitwasyon or kinalalagayan ng mga Sama Bajau sa kasalukuyan dahil nga sa banta ng pandemyang kinakaharap natin ngayon, Bajau people have lost their income. The Bajau are traditionally fisher folk, but because their access to fishing ground has been limited, many Bajau had to shift to bending pearls in different resorts and different places. The problem is that the resorts have reopened but vendors are not allowed to go in. So the families who relied mostly in bending pearls cannot earn enough to feed their family. So, sabi nga dito na dahil sa banta nga ng pandemyang kinakaharap natin ngayon, ang mga Sama Bajau ay nawalan ng mapagkakakitaan. Ang pangunahing pinagkakakitaan nga nila ay ang pangingisda at ang pagtitinda ng perlas, ngunit dahil nga sa mga restrictions or mga polisiyang pinapatupad ng pamahalaan na ang pangingisda ay pinahinto na muna, maging ang pagtitinda, kung kaya't ang mga Sama Bajau ay nangangamba kung saan sila kukuha ng pangtustos sa kanilang pang-araw-araw na pamumuhay. Wala silang sapat na pondo upang matustusan yung pangangailangan ng kanilang pamilya at kung paano sila makakabili ng kanilang makakain sa pang-araw-araw. Kung kaya't ang pandemyang kinakaharap natin ngayon ay lubhang nakaapekto sa mga Sama Bajau sapagkat hindi na nila alam kung saan sila kukuha ng pangtustos sa kanilang pang-araw-araw na pamumuhay at kung paano sila makakasurvive sa banta ng pandemyang ating kinakaharap sa kasalukuyan. Ayon nga sa aking mga nabanggit, ang Sama Bajau ay lubhang naaapektuhan dahil nga sa banta ng pandemyang kinakaharap natin sa kasalukuyan. Nawalan sila ng hanap buhay, binalot ng pangamba sapagkat hindi na nga nila alam kung saan sila kukuha ng pangtustos sa kanilang pang-araw-araw na pangangailangan. Hindi lamang ang panghanap buhay ang naapektuhan, kundi ganoon din ang kanilang mga kultura at tradisyon na kung saan hindi na nga nila magawa yung mga ginagawa nilang seremonya, maging ng mga rituals na kabilang sa kanilang kultura at tradisyon, sapagkat ito nga ay pinagbabawal ng pamahalaan upang maiwasan ang pagkalat ng coronavirus sa ating bansa. Ang pandemyang ating kinakaharap sa kasalukuyan ay hindi lamang nakaapekto sa mga indigenous people, hindi lamang sa mga Sama Bajau, kundi sa lahat ng mga taong naninirahan sa daigdig. Ngunit ang pandemyang kinakaharap natin lahat ay malalampasan din natin kung tayo ay magsasama-sama at kung tayo ay magtutulong-tulong. So, yun lamang po yung aming report patungkol nga po sa Badjao Tribes, specifically po sa Sama Bajau. Thank you.